Nottingham Forest won, Manchester United nil. Remember, before the international break, I told you that the international break was going to affect Manchester United's form. And I wasn't surprised that Manchester United lost today. I wasn't surprised because I had the feeling that it was going to affect the form. So what do you have to say about the game, Dan? Good evening.
Yeah. For me, obviously, it was a decent game. It's a proper Premier League game, to be honest. Yeah, Nottingham Forest have been on form. Yes, you could make a case for the absence of one of the most prolific strikers in the Premier League this season. As far as this season is concerned, I'm talking Chris Wood. It made for an exciting game. Also with the returns of certain Manchester United players that have been out injured a while now. If you ask me, the whole of the first half, bar the first chance, to be honest, that was like a yellow. I thought that one of the players would have, considered the yellow card. But I thought Garnacho tried, maybe not to consider the yellow card, but he tried to slide in and nick the ball off the feet of Elanga. So, I just thought it was a decent game. Nothing really spectacular from both sides. I thought Nottingham Forest had a clear game plan to frustrate Manchester United and hit them on a break, which is not a surprise given the way they have played this season. In most of the games, they have always sought to play the low blocks, mid blocks, and then hit teams on a break, particularly when they are up against supposedly better teams or teams with quite better quality in terms of players. If you ask me, I'm feeling a bit half done because you can't create over 22, 23 chances in a game, with 5 shots on targets. Yes, you could argue to say none of the shots on targets, was so convincing because never really troubled the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. Yeah, but I thought that I saw a team in the last couple of games, Manchester United, I think in the last 5 games, anytime we concede a goal, we always fought back into the game, held our own, held our belief and still played out in the way we want to play, imposing our style of play on the team. The season is already spent. We obviously Manchester United cannot be relegated. Obviously, as far as the Premier League is concerned, we are out of the equation. We're basically just trying to stay in and play for the next season.
Everyone out of Europe places for now.
Yeah, I told you that I'm not big on the whole Euro places. Yes, we understand the financial implications, also considering the fact that, where we are at the moment in terms of being able to make movements in the transfer window. I understand all that part. But if you really look for, towards, the whole footballing, whatever, the culture of the team and everything, I think it would serve the team best to be out of Europe and for me, I said before the international break, I'm beginning to see a team. It's not obviously. I know there will be breaks, there will be start and stops, there will be those roadblocks, but that is what it is. You and I have always said that this is what Manchester United should have done 10, 11 years ago. Throw away all the whole whatever and look to properly build. So for the first time, we are seeing the football club looking to properly build something, to have an identity, to have a culture. We've been talking about how discipline and all those things have been. So for me, speaking of today's game, I'm not excited obviously, but I was happy to see the team play. Great chances. Yes, we're still talking about the final decisions, cutting edge. I thought Garnacho in a couple of instances, should have done better.
That Elanga's good. Do you think? How will I put it? Do you feel Onana is at fault here?
Yeah.
The way he dives.
Well.
The way he dives.
It's not really
just dropped. I don't think he dived.
No. I thought Elanga caught it because if you really look at Onana's position, he was also anticipating that Elanga would play, his teammate through. So I thought he left too much space for Elanga which Elanga, smartly identified and, passed the ball, literally just passed the ball into the goalpost. You could attempt to fault Onana's position, but again, you could make an excuse for him in this case because considering if you look at the run, you had, at the time, by the time Elanga was, by the time Elanga struck the ball, you had like two Manchester United players on him, and you had one Nottingham Forest just a couple, yards away. Would possibly Onana would have played them on, and then it would have been a 1v1 against Onana. So I thought Onana, the way he angled his body, he was also sort of anticipating there was a chance of Elanga playing, his teammate through. I can't remember right now what a Nottingham Forest player was. But for me, to be honest, like the team played well. The issues on surrounding the team are still the same thing. We've been creating chances in the last 5-6 games, but we've not been finishing it. I saw the bit of the last moment, tactical decision, getting Maguire on and all that. But I still thought that we still delayed with the number of balls. We only brought about 4 balls into the box, and it took Bruno to bring in one, and then Chinaza. I'm talking Patrick Dogu to bring in I think a 2 or thereabouts. With Maguire there, you target him for the first balls. And things will happen. His presence there will lead to chaos. It was not beautiful. It was not beautiful. We saw the what would have been probably the goal, which was the last kick from Manchester United, where he it was chaos, and they just poked the ball literally, and it was goal bound before Merello kicked it out of the goal, the whole goal line clearance thing. So it mustn't always be beautiful. Sometimes it needs to be ugly, and I think that's what the players need to begin to understand. Begin to throw the ball into box. We saw Højlund come on, and he was looking for the ball. He needed the ball in the box. He was making, all right, we've been faulting him about playing centrally.
Even Ruben Amorim himself, we can blame him for something today. In the previous games, he was playing this guy on the right, Garnacho on the right, and Garnacho was putting balls into box. Today, he decided to play Garnacho on the left. And look how Garnacho was just doing. He was just shooting, ignoring his overlapping fullback and not putting the ball in the box, just shooting. And I don't even know what to say. I'm tired of these guys. I'm not lying to you. I'm tired of these guys.
But you and I will agree that they are not new, whatever.
Yeah, they are not new things, but I think you are supposed to pass this instruction to this guy. Tell him to put the ball into the box instead of shooting. Garnacho wants to shoot all the time. And anytime he's on that left, he ignores this guy. What's not this guy?
Patrick.
He ignores him.
And even when he cuts into the middle, sometimes he could literally just lay off the ball rather than striking. You've already attracted 2 free players to yourself. Lay off the ball, and then you create more chances. It's more chaos for defending side. But it is what it is, and Manchester City at Old Trafford the next couple of days. For me, it will be even more exciting. Haaland is out. Man City is not particularly playing well. Manchester United neither are playing well. But I think we can hold our own against Manchester City, like we've shown, in previous games against, our fellow big sides. I'm talking Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and their likes. So, yeah, look. It's sad. I thought on the worst, whatever tonight we would have been able to nick a draw because I thought we were in the game, from start to finish. Apart from, the first 12 minutes in start of the second half where Nottingham Forest sort of like, we're on the front foot and trying to get a second goal, obviously for reasons that we know football to be, because one goal leads are always very, they're very tricky. So apart from that time, I don't think that Nottingham Forest, sort of like, poised as a threat to Manchester United today. I thought that, I saw Manchester United side that really played decent football. Sad on the nights, we again created chances and couldn't convert even one. So it is what it is, to be honest. I'm just gonna, just keep watching the games until the end of the season and hope that we're able to do something in the Europa League this season. Aside from that, as long as the Premier League, or as far as the Premier League is concerned, I think is literally done and dusted. It's clear we can be relegated, so I think that's just the good take. But if you ask me, I think Ruben has been able to stamp his authority, and I think also the Ineos has given him that space to do that because they've been working together as a unit. So, not just on the footballing side, we're talking about the culture also, changing the culture, restoring discipline and, all that, getting players who really want to play. And we're seeing the players begin to adapt the system, whether they concede or not, they stay in the game and they play how they want to play and they begin to create chances, begin to trust themselves and beginning to believe. So I think that's the foundation that has been set. We're just hopeful that next season, we can see the number of players that we can get, 2, 3 players, and mix them, chop and mix with the ones we have currently, and then the guys from the academy, from the youth side. I was particularly happy today seeing Kone on the bench. I think he's Senegalese or Malian or on the bench. I'm talking the central defensive player guy. He's been performing so well. Scored a couple of goals also at the youth team. Before the international holiday, he's really held his own down since his signing and him making his debut with the youth side. So for me, it's just hope. It's just hope. I'm seeing what I wanted to see, and I just believe that Ruben, maybe Ruben is the answer we have been looking for, as long as football is concerned and, building a team. So that is it. We look forward to the weekend, to be honest. Like Manchester City coming to Old Trafford, it makes for an exciting, fixture. I'm just confident, to be honest. I'm not panicking. Manchester City, to be honest, I'm not panicking. I think we play better, not even just under Ruben, under Ole, under whatever. It's been the case in the last couple of years. We sort of have our best games when we're, maybe in our lowest place, and then we are up against the supposed big guys. Yeah.
All right, Dan. Thank you very much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmed. Yeah, enjoy your evening.